Hey, what's going on? Good evening. Is this how small you look by my side? You don't? Is this how? I feel like I'm abusing a child.
I mean, it's been 1 year, but they say it's not too late at the same time.
No. If it's been 1 year that I've been doing this with you, then I'm in trouble because I have been.
Like I said, feel free. Do something about it.
I'm super
dare
concerned, and I'm not doing nothing
Do
about being
something
with
about
you.
it. Yeah, you're half.
Other than
You're half in
making
the
it.
video. Moving.
Even if I enter
Okay.
here like this, I'll still be half. Do you know how big I am for this small thing?
They don't call you the big one for nothing.
Oh yeah, by the way, what's up? What's going on? What's cracking? Hope you guys are good. Allow me to do this as I try to adjust so that we can get the background proper. There you go. So first and foremost, this is not our bedroom. We don't have a bed this nice, but we're gonna have something better soon and very soon.
Please, we have a bed that is this nice. Do with that information what you will.
So we decided to have should I call it a short life, a little life, a life, a true life,
Live.
a life.
We said we're going to be doing lives more often.
Yeah.
Right? So this is us doing a live.
And if you're wondering why we're doing it on Daniel the Big One, it's because we're trying to get our followership on Instagram. That's at the Fix It Podcast up to 1,000 before we can start actually having lives.
So one thing we're going to ask you, please, you're watching this for the first time, you haven't followed us on the Fix It Podcast, please go and follow us there. We need you to get us up to 1,000 likes, 1,000 follows, so that we can.
Wait, I said wait. Not even 1,000 likes. We're not used to these things.
Follows.
Old people like us.
We need you to get us to 1,000 followers so we can do our lives on the Fix It Podcast.
Yes. So 1,000 follows, 1,000 people following us, 1,000 pages, and we can start doing lives there. So the last time we had a video, or we released a video, which was earlier this week, we were talking about conflict.
Yes.
And a lot of people were like, oh my God, I love the art. It's like Mortal Kombat. Dun, 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 dun.
If you have not seen that episode, go to our YouTube channel. It's the Fix It Podcast. Go and watch our episode on conflict. Please. Please.
It's beg, we're begging.
With jollof rice and turkey on top.
So that I can buy baby food for this child.
It's like me and you now, they chop the baby food parcel. But it's okay, no problem.
I will chop the baby food.
No problem.
Okay, so we just thought we're going to touch on something that has to do with, would you call it a conflict situation? That video
I think it's definitely one of those things that triggers conflicts in relationships and especially marriages. Yeah. And that is the question of, when would you say that your man is no longer a good man?
Or man enough?
When would you say that your man is no longer man enough?
Yes.
Because we were watching something on Instagram, Ife's page, Diary of a Nigeria Girl, and she was telling this story that was very, very touchy. And I will tell you why in a little bit. Basically about a woman whose husband lost his job, and he, as she put it, the woman says he expects me to step in. And she's clearly of the opinion that anything that would lead to her trying to assist her husband to take care of the home will spoil him. And so I imagine that in that relationship, the man, who is probably expecting some things from his wife to some extent, knows that she can step in some area, and he's not seeing her step in. And she on her own part is thinking, if I do this, this man will be spoiled and he will not be able to live up to his responsibilities as a man anymore. And Ife asked a very important question. She said, when he had money, did he take care of you? Was he stingy? And the woman's response was no. So it's like,
no to what? Stinginess or taking care of her?
He wasn't stingy. Okay. He was taking care of her. He wasn't stingy. I mean, they have kids which she's watching, that they have to go and withdraw from the schools that they're in to go into a cheaper school, while she apparently has the means to step in, and she's refusing to step in because she feels like
She's going to
will be
spoil him.
spoiled. Yes.
I mean, there's also the part where she said she would eat before coming home. She would she would fill her belly
Like eats
before coming home, eat
la vida loca,
proper,
lao lao,
and then come
and then
back
go
and
home
then
and
give
put the barest minimum.
them bare minimum, you know.
So
Like Cheryl mentioned, she removed the children from school, a good school, and then put them in a lesser quality school because according to her, she doesn't want to spoil it. Apparently, she has the capacity.
So two things for me in this story, especially as it have to do with triggering conflict. Again, I imagine that this man knows that she can, to some extent, handle some responsibility, which she's not doing. As a man in this situation, how would you be feeling right now
So
towards this wife?
it's going to be hard because
Are you going to resent her?
when I find out that she has the means and she's doing this to us, yes, there will be resentment. I will not even pretend. There will be resentment. But I am very, very sure that at this point in time, or as at the point in time when the woman was sharing her story with Ife, the man probably did not have the idea that she had the means.
Probably.
Do you get? Because if he actually did, I don't think she would be having that conversation from that place of I don't want to spoil him. I think it would be more of a combative situation in the home at that point in time. That is what I feel that it would be like if the man had already found out that this woman has the capacity to do all these things and she's refusing to do them simply because she doesn't want to spoil him.
So
that phrase is senseless to me.
Let me come in from this angle. I don't know this woman's story. I don't know her history, but I imagine that she has either experienced this to some extent for her to have that mindset, or she has followed some other people's experiences. Maybe something she heard from a friend, maybe a family member, and there is this fear that she has, which is making her take this decision that is not just rubbing off on her husband, but on her children as well. So I want to believe that there's a background to this reaction from this woman. And if you're watching, do let us know. Perhaps you've heard similar stories, or you've seen similar situations play out where, like, a woman will step in, and all of that. I kind of have some kind of a background when it comes to that, where my ex-husband lost his job 10 months into our marriage. That's my first marriage. 10 months into the marriage. And I mean, it wasn't like there was an expectation from his end, but it was just automatic because we had gone from a 2-partner working household with a baby to cater to a 1-partner working household. So I was working. I had recently started work. So automatically, like, for me, it was like, well, we must still eat. We must pay light bills, and all of that. He knew I was working. So I cannot imagine a situation where I, who was working at the time, will have been withholding money from him. On the contrary, I poured everything I had into catering to the home, to the extent that I was unkempt. Like, I don't know that I was taking care of myself, because everything I had plus borrowing itself will enter inside that house to take care of the house. Now, true story is, a couple of years later, when he did get a job, he spent maybe like the first 1-2 months salary just taking care of himself. Like, I'm talking about somebody that went shopping and bought like 20 something pairs of shoes all for himself, not one single one for me. Just for him, it was like, this is my reward for having gone so long without a job. And I saw somebody who not only focused on himself, but then expected me to continue to carry the load for the house. He would tell me literally that I should continue to do the day-to-day running. So the current expenditure, the food, the light bills, everything, while he would just focus on school fees and house rent, which, ordinarily speaking, Those sound like some kind of a reasonable agreement. But what about me? I honestly felt like I needed to rest too from having poured everything for more than 2 years to take care of the home. So I saw somebody who not only thought, look, this is my time, I'm going to live lavish, but also wanted to continue to live lavish at my expense because I'm like, you're the man, you should provide, right?
Now you see the difference between your case and this person's case. It is that there's already a history of a long period of provision. Do you understand? And this husband has not come out of this place that he is at the moment. For us to now say, okay, she had personally experienced such things with him. Do you understand? That will trigger the fear or trigger the reaction that she has in the way she's treating him at the moment. Right? In your own case, 2 years, you took care of the family, everything. Your man at the time goes ahead, gets a job. And like you said, for the first 2 months, he's like, continue the job. Let me, get a spa date, get my nails done and all of that and all of that. By the third month, did he pick up?
No, by the third month, he sat down and said, look, you're going to continue with the daily runnings of the household.
There's a problem with that one.
He did say that.
Absolutely. Yes. Absolute problem with that one. Now, if a person like you was to carry out her own actions right now, I would say it's justifiable.
Sure.
Here's why I would say it's justifiable.
Okay.
You've had the experience before. I can say, okay, it is understood that the fear of the repetition of what occurred will happen again. Where I would be disappointed is that I wasn't the person who did it then. So why am I being bled on?
So, like I said,
excuse me,
I believe that there was some kind of background to her wanting to react
here's
like
the thing.
that.
Here's the thing.
I
understand giving people grace.
Yes.
But people should also be bold enough to come out and say, this was my past experience, therefore I am doing this. Because according to what Ife said, she said she kept asking, and all the woman ever said, I don't want to spoil him. Yes. So is there a great possibility as well, which you already alluded to at the beginning, that a lot of information flying around is now affecting her mindset? Now here's where the problem lies. You don't want to spoil him. Is you accelerating the possibility of that marriage breaking up, especially if he finds out that you had the capacity to do it and you didn't come through to help, as of the time when and this is what a lot of women do not understand. For the man, right, for a sensible man, being able to provide for his family is pretty much the anchor of his being, the essence of his existence as a man in a home. The fact that he's able to provide money for this, provide attention for that, provide solutions to this is the major essence of a man in his mind, in his being, in his creation, in his existence, right? He's provider, protector, priest, prophet, leader, and all of that. If he's unable to do that, right, the person who he, trusts the most is supposed to step in. Hence the term help, meet, complementary. I'm unable to carry this baton. I need you to carry this baton and move on. But you're now telling me that this race that is supposed to be a two-man race, that is supposed to be a passing on the baton when I am not strong enough to carry the baton. You're not telling me that we must win that race, but you see this baton, I will not carry it and I will not run. So I will resent you.
So which is why I said, what I said earlier on, which is, what background did she have? And I mean, I understand how you wouldn't want somebody to bleed on you, but the truth is that past experiences go a long way in shaping some of the decisions that we take later on in life. At every point in time, what we just really pray for, really and truly, is the grace to be able to say, okay, this is a different time, this is a different person, this is a different situation, and so let's try something else. I also think, to a large extent, that in this woman's case, maybe in the case of both her and her husband, it most likely, it probably was a situation of, how should I put this now? More likely a case of the understanding of the union of man and woman coming together in marriage that she has is flawed. You know, what does culture, what does our society teach us about the role of a man? What a lot of us grew up with the traditional understanding that the man's role is provider. And so most women, I think, would struggle with the idea of them stepping in to do that at any point in
It
time.
does not neglect the fact that what she's doing is not fair.
I'm not saying that it does.
Okay.
I'm just, trying to come from a place where we're analyzing it properly and fairly to say, for anybody who's watching this and you're thinking the same way that this woman is thinking, it's not right. But we're trying to fix it. This is the Fix It podcast, right? So it's not about judging. It's about saying what is leading people to make this kind of decisions in marriages. What is leading women to say that, or to think that the basis on which they would honor and love and respect their man and consider their men as men enough in the home is provision. It goes back, if we want to address this really and truly, to how a lot of us were raised, right? We look at the youngins of these days, and both the male and the female, it's all just very highly transactional. It is a case of, oh, what do you bring to the table? And the man, more often than not, is expected to bring provision, money in all forms, and very erroneously so, from day one, into a relationship that is probably just starting. So I'm saying if you're going to fix it, that's where we need to fix things like this from. I think that our understanding of the union of a man and woman and the role that the man is supposed to play in her life and the role that she is supposed to play in that man's life is highly flawed as well. And that's why you're seeing what's happening there.
See, why I am very, very put off by this woman is the fact that it is not just the man that is suffering for this.
I agree.
The children as well.
Rubbish.
I hope and I pray that she sees this, my dear. Your mind is in need of proper sanitation, right? Detoxification and an antiseptic bath, if you let me say that, because I fail to grasp the whole idea of you're not trying to spoil your husband and then your children are hungry for it. Do you get? So when you stood at the altar, that is if you're Christian. I do believe that Muslim brothers to do this thing. When you stood at the altar and you swore before man and God and said, in sickness and in health, for richer, for poorer, till death do us part. Were you just reciting the national pledge, which a lot of us recite without even thinking about what the words are saying? If you're also a person with this kind of mindset and you're thinking that it's going to be rosy 24/7 in a marriage, it's a lie. So why did you get into it in the first place? Was it supposed to be a bailout? Did you think it was going to be you having to relinquish the task of responsibility when it arises? Because I mean, this woman had indeed stated and said that this man was not stingy. This man was a provider. So this man is not at fault. This man is not at fault, which makes it absolutely mind-numbing, absolutely annoying, absolutely preposterous. Is it preposterous or preposterous? You know what I'm talking? Big English. English is coming to my mind right now. Big shout out to you, Sho and Ima. Thank you for joining. It makes absolutely no sense. No sense. Not because even Ife herself was confused.
Yes, so again, whether we want to admit it or not, as annoying as this person's behavior is, there are tons of people who think like this, and that is why we need to address it from the root. Okay, I gave you my story not because it is similar, but because there are people who have also been burned. There are women who have also been burned. In this kinds of situations hold on, baby, hold on. I know.
These women that have been burned, do they not themselves want to be taken care of?
You don't
do
understand.
They not themselves also want to be shown grace?
Let me explain what being burned is that they have done these things. They have stood in the gap for their men.
In this case, this man is not guilty.
I know. See, you need to really and truly get this if we're going to fix this. Chances are that the lady who Ife was talking about may not see this. We're talking to our community right now.
Okay.
So let's address this from the root of where these things usually come from. There are women who have poured everything into taking care of their men and their families, standing in the gap. And at the end of the day, it was a problem. Is this me calling out to say, oh, this is justification for you not to do this? No, it is me also saying that while some men may be upset with, case in point, you are upset what this woman is doing, women have been burned. And so this is a call to not just the women now who were saying, you are Isa, stand in the gap. It is also a call to men to say, you need to really and truly, honestly take up that. We know somebody, a dear friend of ours, a father, a mentor, if you will, who will say, no matter what is happening, do not relinquish your role as provider. Now, from clap, dance they start. Now, from what is it, the other man who, because of what he was seeing on social media, felt like he was right to go and do DNA test without his wife's approval. And there are men defending him to say, after all, it's happening. So I'm saying that these things are happening where women are getting hurt because some men either decide that they're going to be lazy or they're just going to relinquish their authority completely. Yes, this woman was unfair because she did not give this man a chance to prove himself. I'm really and truly hoping that there was nothing else behind this whole thing that made her take this decision. Because if really and truly the man is doing everything he's supposed to do, because a man is not just a provider, and so no wife should base her husband's worth on provision alone. But if he's doing everything, providing and doing everything else a man is supposed to do to fulfill his role in the home, then when things go a little awry, please by all means step in. But at the same time, men, please.
Well, you just said something about she didn't give him a chance.
I did say that.
How so?
From the story that we heard, he was a good man. He provided. So on what basis is she doing this to him when he hasn't shown her that he is one of the kind of men that I'm trying to caution against in this life? So based on that, she did not give him a chance. She's probably acting on what she's heard or seen before or someone else's experience to treat this man in this unfair manner.
She does therefore not complain when the proverbial poo-poo hits the fan and the man finds out. So I'm not talking about her. I'm not mentioning our community right now, but
she will bear the consequences. She will bear the consequences, obviously. That is if I didn't find a way to get through to her anyway. So assuming that she decides to continue to tow this far, she will bear the consequences, if not from her husband and also from her children. How can you look at your children really and truly and do that to them? I think, but let's fix the problems from the roots as well, honestly. Otherwise you will judge people left, right and center for everything that they're doing, and all you will have ended up doing is judging them.
So here is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
If you are a person who has a similar situation, and note what I am saying, a similar situation in the sense that the man has not been stingy to you. The man had provided for you when he did have, and he is going through a rough patch right now. And you have the capacity or the ability to come through for this man. And a voice is whispering in your ear, telling you, you will spoil him. Dear sister, kneel down, put your hand upon your head, and cast that demon out. Let's call a spade and not a giant cooking spoon. There are some things that sound very, very intelligent, but they are the depths of folly. To the point that your children are suffering because you don't want to spoil your man. But you want to be spoiled though. You by yourself like this. In fact, you have been spoiled silly by this man. When you are now thinking you don't, so when we say spoil, I mean, oh, let me spoil you today. I'm not talking about that because apparently the woman is saying, I don't want this man to become lazy. Mind you, many men have the right to look at their women and say, I have been providing for you 24/7. You are lazy as well. Because we are living in a, I wasn't talking about you.
I didn't say nothing.
The way you looked at me just
I didn't say anything.
We're living in a time right now where, like this beautiful woman just said, a lot of people are saying, oh man, sole provider, yada, yada, yada. A lot of people are beginning to, peddle. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Peddle this story about women having to just sit back and just, live la vida loca and be lavished with all of that. Get off your behind and work.
You see, to that one. Hello, to that one.
Get off your behind and work.
To that one. There are different styles that people use in their homes. They are the traditional homes where the man, in the traditional sense, especially in this part of the world, says, look, I will take care of everything. I will provide 100%. You, I just need you to stay home and take care of the children. That is a traditional sense of, gender roles, let's call them that. And then there are instances where that's probably not the case, right? In some other parts, you go and two people, a husband and wife, have to work. So that means that provision and providing is sort of like a shared role. And depending on how the household decides that will work for them, or what the household decides will work for them, the truth is that it can switch either way. Sometimes the woman may take the lion's share. Sometimes the man will. If you have sat down in your home and you decide that is what will work for you, and you know that both of you are okay with it, because you both have to be on the same page, then do that. I, for example, will tell this young man, he knows I've told him, I say, hello, I am your Isa, I will help you. But you see, I cannot be contributing to food money. I did not grow up in that kind of household. And I know you struggle with it a little bit, but at the end of the day, is it working for us? He gives me money for food. Does that mean that when we are in a bit of a tight space, I can't come in? Yes, I can. But I want that primarily to remain in his mind that we are not doing 50-50 here. We are not. It's not gonna work. I want to relax and be taken care of. I want to be spoiled. I want to feel like I am the woman in the relationship.
I don't want to relax and be taken care of.
feel like I am the man in the relation. You do know that as far as this household is concerned, you relax and you are taken care of.
I do.
No, you don't. No, say that you don't.
I do.
No, say that you don't.
I'm asking a question.
No, don't ask me. Tell it to them that you don't.
To them, do I? Why are you already breathing? Why is there already?
I'm ready for you. No, I'm ready for you. The point is this. What we have decided is working for us. If it's not working for us, I will have known before this life. It's not this life. I will have known. So decide on what works. Honestly, if it is a traditional type thing that works, because there are men till today who like that. You say, I don't want you to work, I will take care of it.
Men, let me speak to you. Please. I understand that many of us who say, I don't want you to work, it's an ego thing for many of us. It's an ego thing so that nobody can say, oh, his wife is out there working. Bro, find the way that your wife will be making small money on the side, bro.
So they're not responsible for everything up to her sanitary wear?
No.
Is advice we advise ourselves to as women?
No, not just that. There is a thing that having, so I've been reading quite a number of books. There's this book I'm reading, or rather I read last year. Was it last year or this year? Diary of a CEO by Stephen Bartlett. And there's this thing about being able to do something that brings the word is not compensation, that brings a reward, that makes you feel like you're making progress in life, right? Now, when a lot of men say to their women, I want you to just stay back at home and take care of your children, there is this thing about repetitive work that brings about a sense of redundancy for many people. I will advise gentlemen out there, even if it is wig that you can have your wife to be selling in addition to the taking care of the, I understand you want them to be in the house. Let them start to sell the wig from the house. My point is, it helps the mind, right, of such a person. This is my belief. It helps the mind of such a person to feel as though they are not just there to just be placeholder. Do you understand? Am I making any sense here? Do you get? Then, of course, like she mentioned, to have the little money for sanitary pad and all of that, because again, I'm going to use the caveat of a sensible person. A sensible person does not want to always have to, hey,
No, you
conductor,
were out of frame.
come on, conduct me. Conduct me. Let me go this way. A sensible person is most likely not going to feel comfortable with having to ask for everything. Do you understand? A sensible person will most likely not. I'm not saying that
I
they're
don't
sensible.
think you should call
That's
them
what I'm saying.
insensible.
Let me. I was still explaining.
Okay.
If let me tell you, I'm not afraid of anybody. If at a specific age you are asking for everything, think up, reason up.
I think you misunderstand the way some of this household works. The truth is that to a large extent, a woman in this kind of situation would most likely have an allowance paid into her account, and she's good for the month. Whatever she decides to do with the money, it's not as if she will come to you and be asking you. But the truth is that she sorted every month based on the arrangement that they had.
Did they Oga vex?
So I'm not, see, this is not a conversation in support of or against. This is saying do what works for you. Be very comfortable with your decision. And I've said again, it should be a two-person decision. So that if these instances, for example, like he's bringing up, does come about, everybody's on the same page. Oga vex, you vex, and here. Yes, we know that in instances like some of the instances that I'm talking about, where the woman is completely, wholly, 100% dependent on this man, it can be used, for good or for bad. So that is why I say, even we as women, we advise ourselves. But will you now say it's a bad thing, or the person who's asking is not sensible? I don't think so. I think it is it's a conversation that should be had amongst the two parties involved and should be agreed on mutually. Now, having said that, we started this live by asking a question: when is it that when does a man stop being man enough? When does a man stop being a good man? Because that's where the core of this conversation is coming up. Perhaps as we wrap up, you can also tell us in the comments on the flip side, because we as women, we tend to expect things from our men, and when we don't get it, it becomes a conflict type situation. But on the flip side as well, for you as a man, for you, what is it that we do as women that makes us women enough or good women? So let's have that conversation both ways. Yes? So let us know in the comments. We'd like to hear from you.
So what women do that makes them
Let's have it.
I don't think there's a man that can answer that question.
It will surprise you. Let's see it in the comments, because I think that this thing can be a problem on both sides. It can be a problem of traditional expectations that have been placed on men and traditional expectations that have been placed on women. So let's talk about it both ways.
Remember, you should follow the Fix It Podcast on Instagram. The Fix It Podcast, TheFixitPodcast. We're using my own handle for or rather in the meantime, because we're not up to 1,000 people over there. So once we're able to grow the family to 1,000, we can now start having our lives on there. Same thing on Facebook is at The Fix It Pod. Again, The Fix It Pod. TikTok is at The Fix It Podcast. We're also the Threads as well. We're pretty much everywhere. So We're trying to grow this family. Let's see how we can help relationships. It's not just husband and wife. It's not just boyfriend and girlfriend. We're talking friendships. We're talking turking.
True, baby, your school fees did not go to waste. Amen. Yeah.
This thing paid me
the last episode it was
because the last episode
now
she back down.
Speaking about last episode, so we are on the series about conflict. So we delved into conflict.
There's a series on it.
Well, we've done one recorded and now we're doing one live, so automatically
don't want to do
series mode. The point is that we have done something on conflict prior to this live, so please go on YouTube and watch it and drop your comments there as well. Perhaps in our next live, even if we're not dealing with conflict, we'd very much like to answer your questions. Thank you so much.
Engage, tell the world about it, and let's grow, family. Let's grow. Thank you so much.
Just in case you were hearing one noise in the background, bear with us. Just in case. If you did not hear it, I didn't say anything. Have a good night, people.
You see, this is how they start to hear things, and and exactly nothing. Can you hear anything? You can't hear anything. So life is done. Bye.